Penei Sewell, he's talking, and he's talking pretty good about year two in comparison to year one and expectations from him so far regarding, training and everything from that front. DeAndre Swift, is this a make or break year for him? Some articles talked about it, so I want to put my 2 cents in as well. Taylor Decker injury update, and of course, TJ Hockenson contract and what it means from David Njoku getting his. But before we get into today's video, if you're a fan of getting into a duel with machetes with Jason Voorhees, go ahead and subscribe to my channel because we talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors. Sometimes being a Lions fan, you can get sliced. Also, make sure you take that like button with you and let Jason Voorhees cut it up. Let's get into today's Lions rumors. Penei Sewell talked to the media about, this offseason so far compared to last year when he was a rookie. He says, I'm more comfortable, Sewell said, after Thursday's organized team activities, OTAs. I know what to expect, so it's more simple now. And that can eliminate everything else because I know what's going to happen during the season, OTA, camp, and so forth. That's fantastic news for the Detroit Lions because he did really well last year, and for him to be in better shape, like he's saying, and more comfortable, understand what's going on, that's good. That's absolutely fantastic because we do need him to continue to grow from year one to year two. We've seen in the first half of the season a little bit of jitters, and it just got better as the season went along. Why? Because he was thrusted in he trained on the right side, then went to the left side with the injury, then went back to the right side. Now, it's not that case. He's been through it all. He's been through the expectations. He knows what the OTAs are going to be. He knows what to expect for training camp, and he's going to be well prepared, and that's good for the Lions' offensive line. I talked about how I've always felt, well, at least I felt this year, that Penei Sewell was going to be a breakout player, and to me, it's going to show it on the field for the 2022 NFL season because he is more familiar what's going on, and it's more stable than it was last year. Let me know in the comment section right now, should the Detroit Lions look to extend T.J. Hockenson, our tight end? Now, a lot of people just say immediately, yes, but he has been injured. He's had shown that sometimes he has issues staying on the field, and do you want to fork over that type of money to a tight end? Let me know. Y for yes and N for no. That will be the pinned comment of this video. DeAndre Swift. Some articles will talk about, is this a make or break year for DeAndre Swift? If you're pretty much understand what I've been talking about, I believe, yes, it is a make or break year for him. Why? Because I feel like the Detroit Lions this year is getting close to ready to compete. I think next year they're definitely going to take that big step of competing for playoffs. They want to be that team that can go and do what we haven't seen since 1990, win a playoff game. And you have to have the talent on the field to do so. Right now, if you look at the team, it's almost to that point. There's some little holes left on the team from a roster perspective, no doubt about it. As we all know, we don't have everything locked up, but a lot is. I feel like the wide receivers right now are really good. The offensive line are really good. Tight ends, pretty good. You look at the Detroit Lions defensive line, good. Secondary, there's some issues. You got to talk about from the linebacker and, from a depth there, but it's getting nearly close. There's one position that you have to have good on the Detroit Lions offense to take that next step. That's the running back position. If you give Jared Goff a good running game, everything should work out from wide receivers and tight ends and getting that defense squared away, another year of it. You're almost there. You have to have that running game, and we invested a second-round pick in DeAndre Swift. He has to stay healthy. He has to show he's the guy. He has to do it this year. It's really important for DeAndre Swift to get on the field and make big-time plays. Just stay on the field, I think, is a big deal. Now, he came to camp much better shape. He understands this. He understands the NFL game. We've went through so many running backs with Kerryon Johnson most recently. You can just look all the way back, Kevin Jones, K. Smooth. You look at all these running backs that we've had. We've been looking for a guy to be the guy, to just stay on the field and to make that big play that we need to have happen for the Lions offense to take that next step. We need to have that threat on the ground. Look at other teams as threat on the ground. Minnesota Vikings, one real close to us, Cook. We need to have that. If you look at the Giants, they're in a similar situation here with Saquon Barkley. Extremely talented, but he's not on the field. Well, we need to have a player on the field. And if he can't prove it this year, we have prime draft picks next year and a ton of capital to make sure we secure a running back that could be a staple for the Lions offense. If he doesn't do it this year, we're going to get one next year because we're ready to compete. We're just a couple players away from that. And if he doesn't show it this year, running back is a big piece to that, and the Lions will address it. Make no mistake about it. So he's got to have a big year this year. He's got to stay healthy. Stay healthy. That is the biggest thing from me. Stay healthy. And another health here is Taylor Decker here, folks. Are you concerned about Taylor Decker's injury? He's been injured the last couple years. Let me know in the comment section below. Why for yes and for no? Are you concerned? I am, but I'm just one guy. Let's look at Taylor Decker and what he said. He came out and he said, when you're not out there, it's nauseating. Of course I want to be out there. It's kind of be smart and maintenance kind of thing. Talking with the training staff and the coaches right now, so hopefully when it comes time for camp, there's no issues. Hit the ground running. Good to go from that game plan. Now, he also talked about if there's a game today, he'd be 100% good to go. He just don't want this thing to linger in the 2022 NFL season. I'm with him. I don't want this thing to linger either. We can't have this thing linger. He needs to be on the field. He's another player that we have to have on this team stay on the field. Big piece, Taylor Decker. We have to have continuity in the offensive line. So hopefully this is not something that's going to linger. Hopefully this is something that is closer to being resolved than it is more than anything else. I think that's the big thing here for Taylor Decker and his injury is, if he needs to let it rest right now, go ahead. But we cannot let this bad boy linger. We cannot do it. You let it linger, we're going to have the issues we had last year, substituting players. Look, we got great depth, but we have to have our starters on the field. That's the name of the game, folks. You got to do it. If he can't stay healthy this year, I could see the Detroit Lions looking a different direction next year. He's another player that's got to have a big year because you can always, in 2023, move Penei Sewell to left side and you can draft a right tackle. You can always draft right tackle or you get one in free agency. So if he can't stay healthy, he's not an asset. And you could trade him at some point because we need players to be on the field. So hopefully his foot is good to go. He's not the greatest left tackle in the NFL, but he's not the worst either. He's a mid-tier left tackle. And right now, that's better than the alternative. So hopefully he heals up good to go. Let's go ahead and talk about making a little bit of money here, folks. How about you go to chessboards.com/linesbet. That's BetUS. Bet on MLB and NBA. Put in the promo code LINES125. Get a 125% deposit bonus to make a little bit of money. chessboards.com/linesbet. Good way to make some cash. Let's talk about contract for TJ Hockenson. Now, I put the contract details of David Njoku on here because it'd be very similar to what TJ Hockenson's going to get. David Njoku got a 4-year, $56.75 million contract. $28 million guaranteed. He's 25 years old. Last year, he had 36 receptions, 475, and 4 touchdowns. Man, that's really close to what TJ Hockenson had as well. But he's 24 years old, 583, 4 touchdowns in 12 games. When it comes to TJ Hockenson, it's not his ability. We know this guy is special. We know this guy can do it. But it's his play is staying on the field. And we know that the Lions are looking to give him a long-term deal. So, if the Lions are to get a long-term deal, this is probably close to what it's going to be, a 4-year, $56.75 million. Because David Njoku and him, very similar. He just got that contract extension. Is that something you guys are willing to do? Fork over that type of money for TJ Hockenson. Another player, we've been going through the injuries. We love his play. I think TJ Hockenson is going to have a breakout year this year. My hopes is he stays on the field and he does exactly what we drafted him to do, be a mismatch in the middle of the field. That's what it's going to be. And I honestly would prefer to extend TJ Hockenson because we invested the 8th pick in the draft in him. We want him to succeed. We want him to be on the field and make plays. We have for him to do that. We have to. He's got to be a part of the Detroit Lions offense going forward. He's young. Last thing we want this guy to do is we don't extend him. We get a conditional 3rd. He goes to another team and kills it. That's what would happen. You know, Eric Ebron was different. Eric Ebron, he couldn't catch the football. TJ Hockenson can. It's just the injury standpoint. But I think he's going to have a big breakout year. I'm willing to fork over that type of money for TJ Hockenson. In the upcoming videos, we got video dropping tomorrow. We got the One Pride podcast on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Hey, it's a fun show. It's all about giving back to you guys because you guys take time to comment on the videos all the time and hang out. So make sure you show up for OPP and I take your questions. Hit that notification bell. Follow me on the social media sites. Let's get at it.